powerful. What do you think, Dave? What's your prediction here?
I think this is going to be really, really, really close. Wouldn't surprise me at all if this went 3 at the end. It's going to be a long match, Johnny. A lot of unattackable dinkings, long points. Oh, what a terrific counter by Vivian David.
And there's the smile and the high five to Thomas Wilson, her partner, and they'll take over here.
And you can see early on, Vivian David coming out very aggressive, a little uncharacteristic, really trying to attack the Riley Newman body. And there's Thomas Wilson trying to get used to this new service.
That's right.
Motion.
The new serve, the referee explaining to the players earlier, as we'll talk about right after this. So yeah, it's actually going to be where the ball must be dropped below your hip bone, and then also with the palm facing down, and you cannot impart any spin on the ball with your hand. And Thomas Wilson sitting back and countering and coming away with a W on that one exchange. And there's Vivian David going right after Riley Newman. And I think Riley not really expecting Vivian to come at him this much so far, but I think he's not going to be too worried about that in a little while.
We've seen some uncharacteristic, unforced errors off the Kawamoto Newman side. You know, their really claim to fame in pickleball career is consistency. So let's see if they settle down here. And that ball, I think, came down on the line with that incredible topspin. We talked in the opening, Johnny, about Thomas Wilson's forehand is as good as it gets in the pro pickleball world.
That's right, and Vivian David now adjusting to her service. Now Vivian and Thomas have both missed one of their serves, but they have the early lead here at 3-0-2. And Riley Newman calling that one out as it just barely goes wide, as Vivian David trying to go behind Riley Newman.
She knew she mishit that immediately. It sounded weird. Yeah, really good pinch there by Newman and picking the right location to get that deep. No way Wilson's going to catch up to that.
Yeah, and Jackie Kawamoto and Riley Newman are going to settle in here pretty soon and kind of get their groove. It's early here in game one. And that's not going to come back. Thomas Wilson, huge forehand once again.
So you can see, Johnny, coming into this match, what the Wilson-David combination strategy was. They want to go on the offense early. They want to attack. They feel they have quicker and better hands, and they're looking to speed the ball up.
And that one going to hit the net and then hit Riley Newman. Thomas Wilson going to be coming in firing once again at a forehand at the body of Jackie Kawamoto. Can help kill that momentum here. And we'll resume play.
And they're gonna switch, I think, Riley and I don't know. Now Riley's saying he wants to stay on that side. Interesting.
Newman going right at Thomas Wilson off the bounce, and all smiles as partners go at each other there.
Interesting choice there by Newman. He saw Thomas with his peripheral vision. Good laugh. I mean, Riley did great just to get the first one back off the net court, but Vivian just keeps attacking. So 1-7-2 here. A little surprised to see Jackie 2.5 to 3 feet off the kitchen line. And I'm not sure why she's playing back. Usually she's at that line. Do you think that she's trying to give Riley room to come over and poach that ball?
Yeah, Jackie's trying to give Riley his due there and make sure that, you know, he feels free to roam. But by doing that to yourself, you also shrink the court on yourself sometimes and create added pressure.
I think it's hurting her a lot more than it's helping them.
And now that ball going to be a little wide, and Thomas Wilson and Vivian David feeling very much in control of this first game.
Good hustle by Vivian. I thought she was there and just whiffed at the ball. So they got the ball back. Johnny, I think they got to get at least 2 points in this series to stay in this game.
And that's not going to help their cause as Thomas Wilson jumps the kitchen and powers home another forehand down the line. But taking a step back there, can't get that ball. Rolls over it just a little too much, and so much needed point for Kawamoto. And
interesting, Newman choosing to make most of his drops to the Wilson backhand. Oh, that's the ball that Newman wants. So what he's doing, Johnny, is he's speeding it up off the two-handed backhand, knowing that's not going to be a winner. He's just trying to set up the next ball to the middle so he can pound that forehand pancake, which is exactly the ball he got. You see how far off the line she is? What's happening is that affects the angle of her next volley.
Yeah, Riley Newman sliding over. Jackie unable to make that one, so. And although Vivian David misses that ball, it just looks as though Thomas and Vivian, just with their offensive firepower right now, are almost overwhelming Riley Newman and Jackie Kawamoto. And that one's not coming back again as the power of Thomas Wilson. Unbelievable forehand. And a quick update here after this point on quick update here as Thomas Wilson powers home and overhead on the Humana Championship court. Paris Todd losing to Catherine Parento 11-8, 11-9 in singles. So a big win for Catherine Parento. Good fight from Paris Todd. And there's Riley Newman able to split the difference between David and Wilson, but man, did they have to earn it.
And of course, Thomas Wilson teaming up with Riley Newman in men's gender double. So we're going to see them in action later today, I think, right on this grandstand court. So you see them having a little fun together. Johnny, it's going to be interesting to see as this match progresses if Jackie Kawamoto changes the strategy and see if she decides to close more to that kitchen line, because I think standing back there is affecting her play, and it's not where she normally is on the court.
And there was the baiting that Riley Newman was trying to get Vivian David to do. She's been successful on it so far, but Riley able to win that exchange. And now that one gonna fly, so the great drive there to set it up. So Riley to create pressure.
After a couple of points here, that's gonna get them to 4, so slowly clawing back here in the game 1. It's usually a ball that Newman resets pretty easily off his forehand.
Great overhead from Kawamoto. Riley Newman just kind of moving that ball around nicely and moving Thomas Wilson around nicely as well.
Wilson very disappointed in himself after that short.
It's time to play doubles. Mixed doubles up next on championship court. You have the #1 seed and #1 team in the world, Ben Johns and Anna Lee Waters, taking on Julian Arnold and Lauren Stratman. Head on over to championship court.
That one's not going to come back as Thomas Wilson gets a slap as a good gesture from Vivian David as he puts another one away.
Terrific overhead. You know, it takes a perfect overhead to get the ball past Riley Newman. Probably the best defender we have in the entire men's game.
And now Riley Newman trying to slide in there. Kind of miscommunication between him and his partner.
Yeah, Newman really wanted that ball.
Second call for Bruce Boat in court 10.
And now we're at game point for Wilson and David. And a great spot there from Kawamoto.
Great finish there by Jackie. She really worked that point well, got the high forehand that she wanted, it got that deep in the court, and David really had no play on it.
And so another opportunity here for David and Wilson to finish off this game 1.
That's going to sail wide, so great movement there by Riley Newman, and they're making their move here, Johnny Pickleball.
Yeah, they have another opportunity here to get some points, get some momentum, and carry that into game 2. Oh, Thomas Wilson unable to execute on that play. Get some good hang time and a big two-handed backhand. But here comes Riley Newman with another point.
I like Newman on the left side where he can go big in the middle with his forehand.
great lob from Kawamoto, and that is the play that Newman and Kawamoto are going to want, that grinded out point to where they can start to dictate pace.
And Jackie, it's a huge strength there. I've played a lot of rec games with her over the years, and she times her lobs perfectly.
And that one's going to go a little wide, so even closer here. We get to 8-10, and Vivian David Thomas Wilson talking it over here.
Two terrific resets there by Jackie Kawamoto to get her and Riley Newman to that kitchen line. Oh, he begged it over.
Oh, and that one's not going to come back as a come on from Riley Newman gets them even closer to tying this first game up after being down big.
We are at 9-10-2. 9-10-1.
And that ball is going to go wide, and all of a sudden, here we go, brand new game at 10-10. Here comes the timeout from David and Wilson.
You're on grandstand court at the Masters.
And that one's not going to come back. Riley Newman knowing he floated that one a little too much, giving Thomas Wilson enough time to get over there. And you know what, Dave? I mean, you know the Kawamotos very well. Now, I know it said Jackie Kawamoto on the paper, but I'm just wondering if I make a bold prediction there. Do you think that's Jade?
You know, at first they're very, very hard to tell apart. I can now, but let's see what's going on.
All right, well, that answered. The referee did call her Jackie, so never mind.
I think Jackie should be the second server here. I think this is correct. So we are at 10-10-2. That is correct. It's a tough reset shot from back there in the court. And the other thing is I don't think they should be hitting the third shot drop to Wilson's forehand. That's the one place you cannot go.
And that ball's not coming back. Thomas Wilson powering home that forehand as a lot of RPMs.
So that will get them to game point here in this dramatic game one.
And Vivian David getting busted by Riley Newman, trying to get a poach in there, and he just going right behind her.
And Riley says, whose side is that?
Incredible hands, incredible resets. What defense from Riley Newman and Kawamoto, staying alive here to get the side out here in game one, and now we're playing. And that ball gonna go wide as Riley Newman still understanding he's just going back and doing those drops to the Wilson backhand.
So we are all square here. 11s and a 1.
There's Thomas Wilson with a two-handed backhand after a great exchange from all four players, but actually really Riley Newman trying to insert himself big time on that point.
Interestingly, Newman chooses to attack Thomas Wilson time after time after time. I thought he should have changed that up.
And Kawamoto unable to convert there, but again, another point that Kawamoto and Newman really like to have, that slow down, grind it out point.
That's a very rare unforced error off the Kawamoto forehand. She's usually extremely consistent on this forehand cross-court dink.
And an incredible lob there from Riley Newman, and able to follow it up with a stare down to Thomas Wilson and Vivian David as that ball sails long. And so 11-11-2 as this score just keeps getting up there.
Incredible game one.
Great defense from Wilson and David after another perfect lob from Kawamoto. And the ability to fight their way back into that. And now go ahead 12-11. Another opportunity to close out this opening game for David and Wilson.
Oh, it's very rare that you'll see Vivian David drop a third into the net. Usually if she misses it, her third shot, she misses it a ball too high or a ball too long, then you're still in the point. Yeah, that clips the line.
And Riley Newman thinking that ball might have been going out and skids off the line. So we're going to have 11-12-2. And that one going to come up a little short, so all tied up once again here in game one.
Vivian should have just kept going cross court there and the higher percentage shot.
And that one going to work out in her favor with a sorry. And Vivian David probably one of the rare ones that actually means that she's sorry when that happens.
Boy, every point, such a grind. You got to really earn it. No freebies in this match.
And now that one going to hit the net. And so a lot of nets from the David Wilson side. So they're living right.
My numbers are 4-0 in net gourds in this game. So here we go, game point. Still in game one, folks. No, that ball bounced twice, correctly called. So they'll have another shot at it right here on Thomas Wilson's paddle.
And that one not going to go over, so another opportunity here for Riley Newman and Jackie Kawamoto.
Oh, does he want that forehand topspin roll again, his favorite shot.
And a great shot there by Vivian David. And you can tell that the buzz has spread about this match as the crowd here at Mission Hills Country Club is starting to filter in even more here on Grandstand. And also coming in is Riley Newman's forehand.
So
as he finishes off that point, ties it up, Dave.
That's what I mean, Johnny, about Riley needing to go big in the middle. And that's why I like him on the left side.
Absolutely.
Oh, Newman and Kawamoto finally get a net court on their side, and that's what Riley's thinking. Finally, we got one on our side.
And Riley Newman trying to have Vivian David go right at him. Once again, we told you at the beginning, folks, that we may see Vivian go at Riley Newman a lot, and he wants her to.
Game point here on this side now.
And that ball couldn't go long, and Riley Newman and Jackie Kawamoto, after being down big in game one, fight their way back and fight their way to
the official ball of the PPA Tour.
to make him think that he's comfortable to come over, and now you can actually get behind him. But we'll see. Here we go.
Brand new Vulcan ball, folks, for this game, too. Oh, and Newman got the one he wanted. His favorite shot is that backhand drive roll with topspin. I think he was surprised that the ball was there.
So a quick point and then a side out.
Sure.
And there's Thomas Wilson again, able to slide to his left and take care of business with that forehand.
A lot of firepower here when you got Vivian David teaming up with Thomas Wilson. Oh, that's a really good drive by Newman. Not only was it low, but it was dipping, which really made David's volley that much more difficult.
And now it's Vivian David with the forehand, able to put that ball away.
Love Vivian David's forehand attacks because not only does she get a lot of power on it, but she gets the depth in the court, which makes the opponent's volley so much more difficult. Newman loses his footing there.
And that ball just going to be out. And so second serve coming up all square here in game 2 as Riley Newman with a great vision there to let that ball go. And Vivian David, that was a very good volley. That was very deep, maybe a gracious call there. Kind of close, but we'll have to side out here Riley Newman to serve. Now it's Thomas Wilson into the top of the net, and so they'll take the lead here. Game 1 going to Kawamoto and Newman, 15-13 after being down big, able to come back. Here we are in game 2 as that return goes long. Now a couple of errors from Wilson and David.
They'll reserve here.
And now Riley Newman trying to go behind Vivian David. That ball just sails long, but not a bad play. Try to see if it's there.
He tried that the last point as well, and Vivian was sitting forehand. Oh, Vivian saved her.
And Riley Newman with a signature pancake volley. Ends up going into the net on that one. And a good around the post block, but Jackie Kawamoto, great cover. That lob not going to get high enough. Great initial cover from Jackie Kawamoto.
Great Burt by Newman, but just a really weak lob. Proves very costly there. So that gets us all tied up here in game 2.
Now that ball going to be hammered home from Riley Newman. You'll see it here in our instant replay. That volley just sitting up too high. And Riley able to put it away. So all tied up here. And there's that forehand of Thomas Wilson as he kind of yells to himself, finally getting what he wanted there to put the ball away.
He almost always goes cross on that when he gets a high forehand overhead. So if I was Jackie, I would have started moving to my right before he even hit it.
And Riley Newman trying to get the Burt once again. That ball staying just low enough, though, from Thomas Wilson. And so not going to be able to convert as we get the side out.
The thing is, when you attempt the Burt, Johnny, you almost have to hit a winner because you're so far out of position, as is your partner. So if you're going to make that move, it's got to be to finish the point.
And there's Riley Newman with the two-hand flick right at Vivian David. She was ready, just unable to hit.
He got that one lower than the previous one, so that made it even tougher for David. Great drop.
And there's a yeah from Vivian David as she's able to set up Thomas Wilson for the winner. Now that return gonna sail long.
Yeah, Vivian just sitting on the two-hander there, reading that so well from Newman.
He's been going to the well one too many times. And now it's Kawamoto checking the two-handed backhand of Vivian David as she's able to power that one down the line once again. Check it out on replay. And that ball Jackie Kawamoto letting it bounce, thinking it might go out. It actually bounces into her body a little bit. She's unable to get that to drop back in.
Really good lob, and I actually like the decision-making process of Jackie to try to re-drop that so that she can come back into the kitchen line.
There's Vivian David being active as she gets in with a backhand and then finish with a forehand, and that's gonna. All right, what's happening? Johnny Pickleball here with Dave the Badger Weinbach. We're gonna get going. These players are ready to go. Thomas Wilson, Vivian David up 6-4, and they're gonna tack on another one there as Jackie Kawamoto can't come up with the volley. And looking like this one could potentially go 3, Dave.
I have done a lot of Vivian David's matches. This is by far the most aggressive I've ever seen her play.
And Jackie Kawamoto now with another error as that one sails long on the return. And now Vivian David going right at Riley Newman. And that ball going to be wide. So Vivian David is being exactly like you said, Dave, extremely aggressive, going at Jackie, going at Riley.
I love how she's attacked this match, like mentally. She just come in and gone on the offense and the aggressive from the opening tip in this match, Johnny.
And Riley Newman with a little look there after he slams it home at Vivian David.
Well, they're going to get another serve here at 9-4, so it sure looks like we could be going 3, just as you and I were talking about in our pre-match, Johnny.
Watch.
Oh, the wind's not going to bring that over. Yesterday, the wind was going to bring that in, and today, just ideal conditions for pickleball. It's 63 degrees, 3-mile-an-hour wind I'm hearing from the truck.
And Riley Newman able to get on top of that one. Now, they were in this position in game 1 being down big, and so now we'll see if they can claw their way back in. Maybe that's just the motivation they needed. And now a net court in favor of Newman, and so another point. And here they come, Dave.
In the first game, it was Vivian and Thomas getting all the net courts, and Riley's like, it's about time we get some. So 6-9 here.
And a Thomas Wilson forehand down the line. Ernie, good move there. See it on our replay.
I just think if I'm Newman, I don't drive it, I don't drop it there. I don't even give him a chance to hit that shot.
And they're able to get that one. Newman changing his pattern on that play, actually dropping ahead of him first and then dropping behind Thomas Wilson to keep him home.
I like that a lot more. Let's see what he does here.
Thomas Wilson gonna sail that one long, and all of a sudden, here 8-9-2, Riley Newman to serve. And now there's a nice drive from Riley Newman, and all tied up in game 2.
That's a rare unforced error off the Vivian David backhand volley.
And that one's not coming back. That one sits up as she elects to take it out of the air, and Thomas Wilson elects to just put it away. And so there's the side out after the run. 9-9 as Vivian tells Thomas Wilson, let's go. And now it's Vivian coming up short again with another drop.
All of a sudden, in the second half of this game, Vivian David with many uncharacteristic, unforced errors.
Ooh, now it's Jackie Kawamoto stretching out a little further than she wanted.
And Jackie not sure if Newman was going to come over and rip that two-handed backhand, so she completely hesitated on that.
So here's a game point. And that's going to do it. Thomas Wilson with a big forehand right at Jackie Kawamoto.
Every sport has its icon. In pickleball, it's Catherine Parenteau. She's scripting a legacy, continuously making history. Catherine's choice? Her signature power air paddle, embodying perfection, innovation, and unrivaled passion. For the relentless in spirit and those chasing greatness. This isn't just a paddle, it's a bond. Inspired by an icon, crafted by Selkirk. We are Pickleball.
the ability to dictate pace. I want to see if they can get it to bounce, get the ball to slow down, and we're going to find out right now. And that's going to help their cause. Right off the get, though, getting the drop to bounce and then able to come in and close.
I'm a little surprised that Newman is deciding to drop a lot of balls to the middle, to the Thomas Wilson forehand. A little surprised about that.
And that ball, Vivian David gonna lean back as well, as the ball is gonna go back. So missed opportunity there for Wilson and David. And Riley Newman sitting on that ball.
A brand new shiny Vulcan ball here to start game 3.
That's right. Every game we get a new Vulcan ball. Nice addition to the PPA Tour.
I really like it, Johnny. It's very playable.
And now Vivian David going right back at Riley Newman. Once again, winning that exchange as he puts that one wide.
Vivian David with a two-handed backhand clinic.
It makes you wonder how many points is Wilson and David going to get before then Riley Newman and Jackie Kawamoto make their comeback.
Oh, that's going to sail wide, so good leave there by Vivian. I thought a real high percentage shot there, or a high risky shot there by Jackie, going over the highest part of the net.
And there's the pressure provided by Vivian David and Thomas Wilson as he gets up and finishes that overhead.
I mean, Wilson went a long way for that ball. I mean, he started at his own kitchen line and took that out of the Hyundai Masters, powered by Invited. I don't like that decision making by Thomas there.
And maybe Thomas Wilson thinking that he could mix it up and give them a different look, but Riley Newman, tallest guy on the court. And now Jackie Kawamoto missing that two-handed backhand. Little Scorpion, great ATP block. Wonderful point by all 4 players, and Thomas Wilson able to come away with that one. And so they take a 4-1 lead here in game 3. Remember, we switched sides at 6, but that ball is going to sail a little wide.
I thought correctly called wide. Vivian anticipated it well.
She's on top of a lot of those shots right now, just a couple of them going long, and Kawamoto and Newman 3-4-1. And a little lucky for Thomas Wilson and Vivian David off the net, and a little unlucky for Newman, as that one goes perfectly to the forehand of Wilson. Now that one gonna pop, as I think Thomas Wilson might have thought that that forehand from Kawamoto was gonna actually go cross court to Vivian, not really expecting it to come right back to his backhand. And reset after reset, defense and more defense, but Thomas Wilson finding the angle at the end of that play.
All square here in this exciting third game as the drama builds.
And that was a big forehand from Thomas Wilson. Great job by Jackie Kawamoto, able to keep that ball down on the volley. There it is, Vivian David waiting, ready.
Jackie Kawamoto just didn't get that ball down and allowed Vivian David to hit the ball on a descending track. So credit to Vivian for a terrific finish there.
And another net cord for Wilson and David that they take full advantage of. And the Hyundai Masters, powered by Invited. Johnny Pickleball here with Dave the Badger Weinbach, and what a treat. Game 3. Wilson and David to serve at 6-4. And now it's Riley Newman coming over with his forehand, trying to insert himself as they get the side out, and we'll see if they can get this thing all knotted up again. You never know, it keeps going back and forth here in this game 3. And that's gonna help their cause. Riley Newman coming in, finishing it off.
Another poor choice of drop shots, I think, by Newman. I think if they lose this, Johnny, and rewatch this match, I think they're going to realize it was just a strategic error to get Wilson so many forehands. And that does sail long, correctly called long, so that's a point.
All tied up here at 6-all here in game 3.
Oh, this deserves to go down to the wire.
And Vivian David with the finger wag at Riley Newman, saying no, sir.
Wow. You don't see Vivian David. In fact, I don't ever remember Vivian David with that type of reaction. It just shows you the intensity right now, how much she wants this.
Watch it, watch it, watch it.
Now that one's gonna go out, but yeah, Vivian David sitting on that ball back there, telling Riley, absolutely not. New year, new Vivian. And another missed lob as Thomas Wilson emphatically apologizing to Vivian.
I'm not sure why he's trying to lob that instead of just reset it into the kitchen in front of Jackie and then get your way to the kitchen line. drop there, Newman.
Thomas Wilson winning that exchange as he's able to get on top of that two-handed backhand to finish it off down at Riley Newman's feet.
6-6-2.
And so another opportunity here to take the lead for Newman and Kawamoto. And you have to be impressed, Dave, because, you know, as much as Wilson and David have been able to feel like they're dictating pace and just really pressing and being offensive, all of a sudden we're still at 6-all in game 3. You got to give credit to Newman and Kawamoto for just hanging in there.
They're such competitors.
And Newman finishing that one off. A very mild-mannered Riley Newman in this one.
Yeah, I think part of it is, you know, he's really close friends with Thomas. You know, they're playing together today and all week long, and it's nice to see him actually smiling and having fun on the court.
And Thomas Wilson's seen that before, so he's sitting on a two-handed backhand with that one.
You know, you can compete hard and really, really, really play hard and still have fun. You can do both.
And that one's not going to come back.
So Thomas and Wilson looking right now to take control of this match.
And that one going to be called in from Thomas Wilson, as it just clips the back of the corner.
Call.
So they'll get the side out. And a quick point there for Kawamoto and Newman. Missed dink there from Thomas Wilson.
Very uncharacteristic unforced error off the Wilson forehand dink. Now it's going to sail long. Really good leave by Thomas and David.
And now it's Riley Newman's turn to serve at 7-8-2.
Riley upset at himself. He knew that was an opportunity.
That ball after a great rally from all four players. And just like that, Dave, as requested, this thing's going to go down to the wire.
That was so there around the post. The shot I didn't like in there was when Newman brought Wilson in. Thought that was a big mistake, but he got away with it.
And Riley Newman sitting on that ball. I actually think it hit the handle. And so he was waiting and ready, but unable to convert. And Wilson and David on Thomas Wilson, Vivian David here in game 3. And what a battle, all tied up here down the stretch. And that ball is going to land in right on the corner. So second serve, Thomas Wilson.
And a big let's go from Newman, knowing what a key point this is in this match.
And trying to hammer it down, and Vivian David's gonna sit down. as they get the side out. And that's going to be a big momentum play there from Newman and Kawamoto. Let's see if they'll capitalize here.
That's not going to help their cause.
And Jackie Kawamoto kind of just laughing at it as she knows that's not the time.
Right in the middle of the net.
And again, Thomas Wilson able to just get that forehand in there.
So two unforced forehand errors by Kawamoto gives Vivian Thomas the ball back in their hand.
And Vivian David trying to pull trigger a little too early there.
I think
that ball was pretty low.
I really think Thomas wanted that forehand roll flick. That's the third or fourth time in this match that Newman's been set with the pancake. I feel like the ball is right there where he wants it, and he mishits it off the edge of the paddle.
And those are incredible resets, but now we have
I'm not sure about that.
The referees. Call stands. Not enough to overrule, so Jackie Kawamoto's call of that ball being out will stand. And so now we have a side out. 8-9-1. Kawamoto to serve. And Thomas Wilson and Vivian David going to try to shake that one off as they are not happy about it. Going to go ahead and call a timeout. Do have the side out, so Jackie Kawamoto to serve. 8-9-1.
Wow.
And Jackie Kawamoto stepping back off the line, and after a couple amazing resets, trying to go ahead and counter that ball, just hits the top of the tape. So Riley Newman's turn to try to tie this up. And it's off the tape, and Jackie Kawamoto again unable to get that ball over. So no harm, no foul there for Wilson and David as they keep their 9-8 lead and now get the serve. That's not going to work. Jackie Kawamoto trying to lob over Thomas Wilson perfectly to his forehand. And here we are, match point. And that's going to do it. Thomas Wilson, Vivian David finish off Riley Newman and Jackie Kawamoto in 3.
One of the